So a bunch of you have been asking for this video for a while now, and I thought since a lot of you are new and maybe you don't know everything that's been done to the car, I'm gonna go over every single mod that we did to the M5 E60 over the past 3 years or so. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how much it cost me, and I'm gonna do my best to do them in order. I don't remember exactly. I do know like the first for sure. I paid way too much for it, but I'm gonna list every single mod we've done, how much I paid, and that way you know approximately how much I put into this car in terms of modification. By the way, every single one of these mods is documented on this channel, so if you want to find all the installs, go check the videos, they're all there. So coming in at number 1, we have the Hartge front lip on the M5. This is the very first thing I bought for this car back in like 2017 or something. And I knew nothing about car mods at this time when I bought this, and it shows because I paid something like, I think like 800 Canadian dollars for this, when in reality you could get a rep lip like this for probably like 300-400 bucks, honestly. But I was new, I didn't know what I was doing, and so we got this Hartge front lip straight from Germany, from the real manufacturer, so it's the real thing, which is cool, but it was way too much money. And as you can see, it's definitely taking a beating over the years I've had it. This car is actually going in for paint correction this week, so hopefully that's all gonna be fixed. But we got a nice little crack right along there. We got some scrapes. Car's also lowered, which I'll get into later. But that's mod number 1. Number 2, a quick and easy one, was we swapped the chrome grills that were right here for some black ones, which I think just looks way better. Also, the fact that we have some intake scoops behind it that are red makes it look really nice. I'll also get into that later. But yeah, these used to be chrome. Now they're like this satin matte black color. Just fits the car a bit more, looks a bit more aggressive. I do want to get these blacked as well. I'm thinking just to do a wrap chrome delete at this point. I was thinking about buying them in black, but they're so expensive, and the problem is they do not come with this M5 sticker right here, which is super annoying. So for now, these are black, these are chrome. Not too bad. Again, it's a mod that's never gonna break. Why would these ever break? They've never been scratched, nothing. They probably need to get cleaned up, but that's pretty much it. Up next, what I was just talking about for mod number 3, we had the RPI intake scoops on either side inside the grille there. Basically what these do is they give you a couple more horsepower at like highway or freeway speeds, anything over 100 kilometers per hour. These are gonna give you 5 to 7 horsepower more, allegedly. I've had them on since the beginning, so I don't really know what it feels like to drive without them, so I couldn't tell you if it feels any different, but they look nice. And they allegedly give you that bump, which is cool. But those RPI intake scoops on either side were the next mod for the M5 E60. Again, all the installs on the channel here. So after we installed the intake scoops, I took the whole car and we dropped it on H&R lowering sport springs. I forget the exact inches that they're dropped in the front and the back, but I will put the numbers up here. But basically we just swapped out the stock springs on the front and the back. Again, front sits slightly lower than the back, I know that. And this was one of the must mods for the car, because one of my least favorite things about this M5, and I absolutely hated it from the beginning, was the wheel gap that we had at the beginning. It was something like this much, and it looked really, really bad. But now we got the fat Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Again, this gap is non-existent, it's nice and cleaned up. And it's the same story in the back. We actually have an even better fitment, I find, in the back. I can just get a finger in there, and that's literally it. Once we dropped the car, I really wanted to complete the fitment, and for me, the wheels were too far in, which just didn't do it for me with the look. And so what we did was we got some spacers, and the setup on those spacers has actually changed over time. We used to have 15 millimeter in the front, 20 in the back, but then there was so much rubbing that we ended up putting the 15s in the back and the 20s in the front. And this, let me tell you, the wheel or the tire was literally like here, like it was touching the fender. Not sustainable at all. If I was driving the car by myself, it was fine. If I had 1 passenger or more, this car basically didn't drive. The wheels wouldn't move. The car sat on the frame, on the body. So we changed the setup, and now I think we're in a really good spot where the car's in a healthy stance. We have no spacer on the front, and we took the 15s and we stuck them back here, and now the fitment is clean, close, and still drivable. I can't believe I had 20s back here. Like, this is with 15s. 20, the wheel was sitting like, or the body was sitting on the tire. Got those on eBay, and they've been fine ever since. Now we are coming to one of my favorite mods of the entire M5, which of course, with the V10 engine up there, is the custom axleback exhaust on the E60. This thing sounds so good. I'm gonna show it to you right now. You get the titanium blue tips here. They're a bit dusty, but they're fine. This whole car is kind of faded with the sun. It's 2006, so it's getting up there in age. It's almost 20 years old. But again, going in for paint correction next Tuesday, this thing is gonna bring the shine back out. It's gonna look so good. I can't wait. Now the exhaust, again, wasn't too expensive, I think. I know I'm saying that, it's all relative, but for German cars and for what this car is, the mods aren't actually too bad. But it is so worth it because it brings the V10 scream and gurgle and burble and growl out so well. Definitely a must-needed mod if you have a V10. Then we got a few body mods. I know some people don't call them mods, the cosmetic mods, I guess. We have quickly a Highkick trunk spoiler. First time I installed it was not good. I put double-sided tape along the bottom, and when I actually removed the stock M5 trunk spoiler, there was a huge line right here, right along the bottom, and we basically had to repaint the entire trunk. Not a good time. And then on top of that, when we actually took off the double-sided tape on this to reapply it with an actual like seam, it ripped off that paint job that we had to when we repainted the trunk. But now we've repainted it a second time. It's not great right there, but it's fine. But now we're in a good spot. It sits well, there's no gap, it's filled in, and we have a nice black seal right along the entire bottom. And it just brings out the back a bit. Super nice, I like it. To add on to that, to complete the look of the back, we have the trunk spoiler, we have the exhaust. We also got a Hartge rear diffuser. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it matches the front lip on the front of the car. I could have gone with a full carbon diffuser that wraps around the exhaust too, but it was a bit too much for me. And because I don't really have any carbon mods on this car, like the trunk lip is painted to match, the front lip is painted to match, it wouldn't make sense to then have a diffuser that is all black, right? So we stayed silver, we painted it to match, and I think it looks way better that way. Especially when this thing is moving, it just brings the whole thing lower, which I think is a good look. Now, the newest mod we've done to the M5, which is a performance mod, is actually the Sprint Booster V3, which I installed myself here in the M5. It's basically a throttle delay delete. So it plugs into the back of the gas pedal there, wires up around the inside of the car here, and comes out right here. And what it does is it deletes the throttle delay. There's sensitivity settings, so if you want, you can set it to basically race 9, which when you touch the gas, this car goes. Like there's no delay, literally like whips your head back a bit. This thing is super fun. I've got a lot of hate for it for some reason online for installing it. People are saying it's gonna give you throttle issues later on and that they thought I was a spokesperson for Sprint Booster. I paid for this myself. I'm not sponsored. I've just enjoyed the product. Video's up on my channel if you want to see the full install. I did an unboxing, everything. This thing's been awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's been kind of the mod so far on the M5 E60. This thing is so due for a spring cleaning, it's ridiculous. Super dusty. Paint is faded. Seats could use a leather wipe down. I promise you I'll take care of this car. I'm doing my best. But we are gonna get this thing cleaned up. It's May now, summer's basically here. Going in for a full detail paint correction, all that next week. This thing is gonna look brand new. Come a week from now, I'm gonna show that whole process too. So make sure you sub if that's something you wanna see. But for now, that is the full mod list. of the M5 E60. But this thing's been sitting in the sun too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover this up because unfortunately, I don't get a garage spot. There's 3 cars in there, 3 of my dad's that are super nice that unfortunately the M5 gets the short end of the stick. So we don't get a garage spot, so we're stuck out here and we're stuck under these trees, which if you know anything about what it's like to park under a tree overnight, you wake up and there is bird shit and gunk and sticks and leaves and everything glued to your car, which is not fun. And so, thank God for the car cover, but I really got to get this thing in a garage, man. It deserves it. It deserves a garage, 100%. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Updated mod list 2023, the BMW M5 E60, every single mod we've done. Let me know which mod is your favorite. Let me know which mod is your least favorite, because I know you've definitely voiced those opinions in the past. I guess a mini mod too is we have the M6 wheels instead of the M5 here. I'm thinking about switching back to the M5 stock. I don't know how I feel about these, but we have both and I got a set of tires on both, so I can literally switch as I want. So I'm thinking this summer, we might switch to the M5 stocks. I'm gonna take those in to get refinished as well, and I'm thinking about getting them chromed. I think with the silver, it could really bring out the shine in both the car and the wheels. So thank you guys for watching. Full model list, the M5 E60. If you want to follow the rest of the build, make sure you like, sub, all that good stuff. We also have M5 E60 tees at apparelbyenemy.com, my car culture clothing brand. We just released them. Go check it out. You're gonna find something you love on there. And I will catch you guys in the next video. My name's Chris. Thank you so much. See ya.